Everything is set then for the final race day of 2023. Hello everybody and welcome to Valencia for coverage of Moto3. The title's wrapped up, Juan Masia taking it last time out in controversial circumstances, but there's still a race to be had. Colin Vaya, our pole position rider, has just high-sided on his way to the grid. He's managed to get back in, they're cleaning up the bike, but that's never a good sign. It was down at turn number 3. Let's go down to the grid and join Susan Perry with the guys.
He has had a win this year and sitting 7th in the championship. We have got some stellar talent, haven't we, against all the established names. Alonso, Vea, Holgado. It's got, you know, some great riders coming through.
Yeah, those rookies this year have been impressive, and they've been learning very, very quickly from the more experienced rider. You know, you got the guys like Rueda and Colin Vaya. I mean, he's got to be the highlight. He's been absolutely amazing lately as well, coming strong on that end of season. You know, David Alonso. I mean, 4 victories this year. So yeah, the rookies are pushing the more experienced rider, and it's nice for us to see, because we normally see Moto3 races really contested, and those rookies, they're not scared to take a risk.
Let's go back down to the grid. Dennis Onju battling for 4th in the championship from the front row of the grid, but don't forget he's had that massive high side. He's talking to Nat.
Dennis, front row of the grid, but I know you've been feeling a little under the weather this weekend. So how are you feeling today and for the race?
Yeah, apart of my injury, my health is not that best in best conditions, but I try to do my best as always on the circuit. It's not gonna be an easy one for me. For my physical, I will struggle a lot for sure with my back, but I want to finish my last race in my career in Moto3, and if possible, in the best way possible.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Arguably one of the most exciting riders to watch, Dennis Onju, was sensational last weekend in Qatar. Had to take long lap penalties and still finished up the top end.
He's such a fighter, and he will love the scrap here today, but he's definitely walking wounded. It was a big tumble, and he looks quite second-hand, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be physical, but he's not scared of getting stuck in.
Natalie slid across the front of the grid to 2nd place, where we'll find Ayumu Sasaki just missing out on the championship this year.
Ayumu, I know how determined you are to win this one, and I know you were disappointed to miss out on pole, so have you got something extra for the race?
Well, I have experience now for 6-7 years in Moto3. It's been quite a long journey in Moto3, so it's quite emotional that this is my last race in Moto3. But yeah, yesterday I wanted a pole because that was my last qualifying, but we couldn't achieve it. I made a mistake as well, so today I just need to put everything together, put my experience as well, and try to go forward.
Thanks, Ayumu.
Thank you.
Well, he hasn't had a victory this year. It would be poetic if he could do it here, wouldn't it, Silva?
Oh, I am Team Sasaki all the way today. I mean, I feel this man deserves it. I feel like in Qatar, you know, he got roughed up, and it wasn't nice to see what happened in Qatar for him losing the title that way. So I feel he's going to have extra motivation here, and for me, he's the favourite for the race.
Just an update on Colin Vaya. What are we seeing there?
Yeah, it looks like the mechanics are still working, but he's sat on the bike, he's relaxed. Ayumu said actually his biggest danger today was going to come from Colin, so that may knock the wind out of Colin's sails a little bit, but he's a buoyant rookie. He doesn't get his feathers ruffled too easily, so he could just brush this one off and lead from lights out. He's been so strong lately.
A lot of people wanting Ayumu, though, to win today because of the aggression last weekend, really, from Team Leopard to take that championship, Michael.
A lot of people did not enjoy watching that, so us included. I think Adrian Fernandez took it over the line, so definitely the moral victory it would be nice to see Ayumu get his first race win, and obviously runner-up in the title chase and moving on to Moto2 as a race winner in his last Moto3 race would be a nice way to sign off.
Yeah, how do you see this race panning out then around this circuit? Because it's a tight one and it's a short one.
It is, and it will be scrappy. Not too much of a slipstream advantage to be gained. It will stay in a bit of a group, so I think you'll get Onju fighting, you'll get Alonso coming from the 2nd row of the grid, but Holgado thinking about that 4th place in the championship. So there's a lot of contenders, a lot of riders potentially could win the race today.
I think it's worth mentioning that the world champion Juan Masia, we haven't seen too much of so far, had has had a really consistent, strong end to the season. There he is, actually, just on cue as we talk about him. And he is the world champion now. He's 8th on the grid. Hasn't maybe shown his hand so far across the weekend, but that's quite typical of Jaume Masia. It's often a slow build until race day. So, of course, we'll see what he has for us this weekend. So here is the scene then here in Valencia as we look at shots of David Munoz going from 9th to 3rd row of the grid.
Yeah, Munoz is an aggressive rider. I mean, you can expect him to make some moves, especially in those early laps. I feel like the rookies though here, and we've got quite a few Spanish ones, you know, that are on the money this weekend and on the pace. I think we're going to see a great battle as we normally see in Moto3, and hopefully Sasaki coming to the top. I think it's small build, and the fact that here we accelerate from very slow corners into those straight, he's going to play in the hands of Sasaki. We know he's superhero as well on board Husqvarna, so yeah, he's like I said, for me, the favourite.
Munoz has suffered inconsistency, really, I suppose, this season, Michael. Ahead of him, Ivan Ortolu, who we haven't mentioned so far.
Yeah, weirdly, Ivan's had a bit of a dip in form. This is his last race with the MTA team. He will move across to MT helmets, but he looked to sign off on a high. He's had a couple of victories earlier on in the season. Good, consistent, stellar campaign, but obviously wanting more in front of his home crowd.
Track temperature already 19 degrees, so probably the warmest at this time it's been across the weekend. What does that mean for the Moto3 boys?
Well, for them, normally the tyres activate quite well, but when you get temperatures underneath 15 degrees, you still have to be a little bit careful in those first corners and those first laps. I feel like the track today, because we've not got that breeze that we had yesterday, that cold breeze, that's going to play in their hands. That's going to make the racing a little bit safer. So the tyres will come up quick, and we're going to see them being able to attack each other very early on.
Quick word about Danny Holgado, who's going from 18th.
Again, another walking wounded. He had a big crash, but I think he'd be fine. He'd be thinking about the championship points a little bit, but he's been really fast in Friday practice, so he should be fine.
Okay, can't wait for this one. What an opener we have got. Here is the scene then as the sun shines down on this track. 19 degrees the track temperature going into our first race of the day. Moto3, Denis Onchu, Ayumu Sasaki and Colin Veijer is your pole sitter. What a story it's been so far for him.
Yeah, with a crash on the sighting lap. Valencia is the home of fireworks, and with the Valencia world champion in Jaume Masia, expect them today. Everyone wants to end this season on a high, and after Qatar, there are scores to be settled. Might be a good time to sit yourself behind the sofa in preparation.
It's the final Moto3 race of 2023, and this is how they line up. Colin Veijer on pole position after high siding just a few moments ago from Sasaki and Onchu. Then it's Kelso, Alonso and Ortolu lining up. Then it's Ruda in 7th, Masia and Munoz. Then it's Yamanaka 10th, Nepa alongside Adrian Fernandez down in 12th position. 13th onwards as well, that takes us with Vicente Perez alongside Felipe Ferroli and Riccardo Rossi, Tayo Fronizzo, Diego Monrella, Daniel Holgado taking up in 18th. Further down, it's Bertoletti, Fanati and Toba, then Ortega, Salvador and Felon down in 24th position. And 25th for Marcos Ruda, and Mario Agi starts 26th on the grid. Scott Ogden ruled out of this one. Means it is less runners this season, just 26 as we head off on the formation lap. Let's check in with Gavin Emmett and Neil Hodgson.
Horrific first lap crash. We wish them both well. They will be back on the grid next year in Moto3. But Neil Hodgson is alongside me for this final round, 20 laps, but it's cracked in the fingers job, Valencia, isn't it, in Moto3?
It's always super tight. I mean, it's a tight, twisty track. On the bigger bikes, it's a bit of a handful. Actually, on these bikes, it is not as bad, but the racing normally we get around here is close with that beautiful long start, finish straight. So that keeps them all together with the slipstream effect, and then we've got plenty of these corners where, well, to make a pass, it gets tight. It's always a bit of a lunge. We saw it in yesterday's MotoGP race, and I expect it in this race.
Nice few gold stripes on the side of Jaume Masia. That's an extra 10th right there, isn't it, with the world champion proudly displaying the fact that he is the champion in front of his home fans. Are you worried after Colin Veijer's sighting lap crash? Because, was it, temperatures seem okay, 19 degrees. But that just scares me a little bit. We get 26 riders going out at it at the start of this one.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a very strange crash, to be honest. We've got to remember that the Moto3 boys don't get a morning warm-up, so what we've seen, look at that, by the way. What a view. This place is absolutely ram-packed. How many people are there? 100,000?
Usually it's about 120,000 that we get here on race day. It's remarkable.
Yeah,
remarkable.
What an atmosphere.
It will be the biggest sporting event in Europe, perhaps the world this weekend. Over 200,000 fans over the weekend. We're about to get a treat though, aren't we? Because so many scores to be settled, so many people wanted to end the season on a high, people moving on to pastures new have points to prove.
Yeah, so many people are hungry for this race. The biggest one, I think, is Ayumu Sasaki. He feels like he was robbed last time out, last weekend in the race. There were some dirty tactics going on by the Leopard team. He wants to settle that score. And like you say, you've got someone like Dennis Onchu who's moving up to Moto 2 next year. David Alonso is still in that battle for second in the championship. And then you've got the young, talented Dutchman on pole position, Colin Veijer.
To settle the nerves, Francesco Bagnaia watches on from the pit wall.
Yeah, here we go then. Out for the last time. Josh T is watching behind the scenes as well, giving us his pit lane advice throughout it. You right, Josh?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, should be interesting for the final race. The medical car at the back gets ready. The red flag and green flag at the back of the grid is about to go, Josh.
For one final time in 2023, it is all eyes to the lights in Moto3. 5 of them will illuminate, and when they go out, we will be racing in Valencia. Good start coming from the inside from Sasaki. He'll get the lead down to turn 1 compared to Colin Veijer as they go across the Formula E grid hatchings towards the first corner for MotoGP. Tight on the brakes, and it's Sasaki from Veijer coming up into 3rd position out of nowhere. Dennis Onchu, really strong start, getting ahead of Joel Kelso. Several riders going off the track, including Daniel Holgado. Onchu again trying to hold off from Joel Kelso, trying to come through the outside line. Oh, multi-rider down in the back, and it's Diego Monrella and Vicente Perez who have crashed just before the end of the first sector. Some of the bikes are still up and running, so they'll be able to change that quite quickly. Roman Fanati's been passed by Marcos Ruda. Ruda up into 18th position, a storming start from him, up from the 25th position on the grid. So Sasaki from Veijer, the 2 Husqvarnas are 1 and 2. As we see Monrella crashing out, we already knew double yellows are still out. Has Vicente Perez restarted? Not sure yet. Munoz has crashed out. No, hang on. Munoz has been passed by Messier. That's what's happening. Vicente Perez crashing out, as we said. As Munoz takes 2nd. Oh, wait, no, takes 8th away. The timing tower's really jigged itself at the moment. Needs to get back up as they're coming towards 10, 8, 9 and 10. Back on power down here at Valencia, and so far looks to be okay. Josh T, nice easy start. What did you make of it? Not the usual rush around we see in a Moto3, Moto2. Still they're battling at the front.
Yep, still battling out at the front. A few riders trying to make an overtake for 3rd.
Yeah, that's Onchu and Kelso. Kelso trying to go through on the inside, not really paying off as dividends there, so we'll keep an eye on it. This is the championship. Messia's already crowned champion. Sasaki 11 points back, but that's because Sasaki's leading the race and Messia down in 8th position. Even if Messia didn't win this race, it wouldn't matter. Messia is already crowned the world champion. He did it last time out, and Sasaki missed out as Colin Veijer up the inside line, getting ahead there. Good move on the inside, and he's made that 6. So Colin Veijer takes the lead from Sasaki, Onchu, Kelso, Ortolo, Alonso, Ruda, Messia, Munoz, Faritz on the top 10. Who's that dropping right down the timing screen as well as we try and work it out for you. And this was the accident further back. So look in the middle of the field. Oh, and it was just a tag. So it was Artegas who tagged the side of... So yeah, it was Holgado. He goes through, tags... So yeah, coming through. It's not Holgado involved. He runs out wide. So it's Javier Artegas who hits the side of Monrello, takes down Perez. So Holgado goes right round the outside. That's why he lost places. But he had a bad start anyway. It's involving Perez, Holgado and Monrello currently under investigation. Yeah, well, it's nothing to do with them, you stupid FIM MotoGP stewards. It is to do with Javier Artegas, who just ran into the side of him. Josh, they are lunatics in MotoGP, the stewards, we know that. But are they really going to penalise riders who were just victims?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see, MotoGP stewards.
Onchu on the inside line in the penultimate corner, and he's taken second away from Sasaki. Really strong there from Dennis Onchu as they come onto the start-finish straight. He had a superb launch. Now he's going to go after Colin Via down towards turn one. Sasaki gets back in the slipstream to try and get something into the first corner. It's a long straight here. They go 3 wide into the braking zone. Sasaki repasses Onchu but can't get ahead of Colin Via. Artegas has been given a double long lap penalty for irresponsible riding, so the stewards are not moronic.
Yeah, well, some decisions that the MotoGP stewards have made this year worse than 2021 FIA. But that was a good move for second there as 18 laps go on lap 3.
So they come back. There is the long lap penalty confirmed for Artegas. The long lap loop down at turn 4. Sorry, down. Where is it? I don't know. Yellow flags out sector 2. Oh, Lorenzo Fallon has crashed out of this race. So that's going to be an adjustment for him, unfortunately. He's crashed out at turn 5, and that's the left-hander after the 5 left and a right. So it's the 2 rights together. So he's crashed out there. I wonder if he's just dropped the front on entry. He's walking away. Airbag's got off, so I assume it was a biggie. Let's take a look. Out of 4 and into 5. Yeah, mid-corner. The bike snapped him, Josh. That's it. Oh, and it hit him as well.
Yeah, not a nice crash there, but we've had high sides before and a lot of high sides in MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3, and even one on the warm-up lap.
Yeah, Colin Via taking off as well in accident zones. Well, he is accident prone, really, as they get the slipstreams down towards the first corner once again. So we've got more and more riders being eliminated from the running orders here as we just update our timing towers for you. To make them a bit more easier to see, because of course we don't have many riders left in the race, so we'll adjust that and get it all sorted. What's happened there? Oh, I know. There's the double long lap penalty loop just getting confirmed along the board. There we go. In race editing, I love it. As they have it into the leading group then. This is fastest lap for David Alonso, a 1:38.580 as he takes on the front there. So it's a new best race lap record here in Moto3 across any category. So a big yes on the board. And I assume, Josh T, Discord looks as bad as useful as a chocolate teapot right now. Let me refresh it for you. There you are. Much better. Into the braking zone then. 17 laps to go. Lap 4 of 20. Via leads from Sasaki. Onchu going through as well. There's a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited that we're going to have a good race this time around. I hope that we do. By the way, our program... Oh, there we go. There's the long loop. It's down at turn 9. And it's now being taken as well. So the long lap is confirmed. That's 1 for Artegas. He will have to take a second in a few moments' time. Coverage of MotoGP, though, coming up later. All of the action from the last race as we take a replay. Let's have a word with Neil Houghton.
See Artegas appear way too fast. Look at that. I mean, it's just a silly, silly move. Especially now, for Artegas is an experienced rider. You can't go diving into a hairpin corner carrying so much speed. There's only going to be one result in the end. Stupid.
Artegas is a race winner here.
Yeah, that's true.
Finished on the podium here in his debut. And then he won here a couple of years later. He won back in 2021. Yeah, it's a head scratcher, that one. But Artegas' race is run effectively. He's at the back of the field and still has another long lap penalty to take. Got a big group at the front, down to Rueda really, top 7. And then Munoz and Mazia rounding out a top 9 with a 2-second then back to Mazia's teammate Adrian Fernandez. And it feels like they've been able to form this front group because the pace is decent at the front. They are at lap record pace, race lap record pace. Sasaki's 1:38.5 is quicker than Onchu's 38.7 from last year. Track conditions helping it with this newly laid asphalt. But there hasn't been masses of overtaking, has there?
No, there hasn't. That's been a quite disappointment that there hasn't been so much overtaking, so much momentum. Never mind. Alonso diving through on Joel Kelso on the inside line and taking 4th position. Very nicely done, a very nice manoeuvre. Masia already world champion. The gap now is 15 points with Masia down in 9th. nothing, of course, Sasaki could do. So why that graphic's popping up, I don't know. Maybe they're just testing it ahead of MotoGP later on to let us know. And there on the inside line, that's going to be Kelso being passed by Ortola. And Artegas has completed his double long lap penalty. So that gets confirmed as they come across the line. Sasaki's on the inside trying to take Colin Vire into the braking zone. Nothing going to happen there, I'm afraid. He will back out of that. Yamanaka ahead of Farizzo, just taking a few more positions as Onchu in third. Looks down into the inside line in turn 3. Can't get ahead of Sasaki. Force coming up. This is the danger zone. After turning it, you've got to turn it back on the bikes. Into the right for the first time in 5 corners. And it looks to be okay to me. So, Juan Masia in 9th position. I don't know why they're trying to hype it up. We already have our champion in this series. It's not going to give it that much. Thanks for the love in the YouTube chat, by the way. Just saw that fly up. The love a heart emoji as they come into it. So we've got a 4-way fight, but realistically, this goes down to Ruda in 7th position. Why the gap is there, I don't know. MotoGP's TV direction is exactly the greatest on the planet as they come through. Is Sasaki going to take a race win? The heart went out to him 7 days ago in Qatar when we had Masia barge Sasaki out of the way, not once but twice, and then Adrian Fernandez doing it. I'll tell you what as well, the Leopold Racing team have just gone. They have been given the cold shoulder so much in the paddock this weekend as we see the 44th Munoz battling with Masia now into the last corner. Masia had to go for a title, but he won it in the wrong way. He was really... What was your take on that, Josh T, if you saw it? It was quite insulting, really, wasn't it, when he threw it down the inside?
No, I haven't seen that. I was actually busy
you
that
were,
day.
weren't you? Yeah.
To catch up.
Ortola with a 138.517, another new best race lap record. David Salvador is dropping down to 19th position, so he is losing a lot more time now. Coming onto it, 14 laps to go here in Valencia. We're on lap 7 of 20. We'll be on a quick off as well to cover the Formula 1 pre-show. Megan will be here for that, as well as Adam, Josh and Omi. I'll cover Moto2 and then come back and make an appearance for the remainder of the weekend. It's going to be a bit difficult. Me and Megan are lead commentators on F1 and MotoGP today, so we're shifting over the commentaries. I do about 50 minutes of F1, go out for a few minutes, come back for like 2, go again, and then I come back for the last couple of laps of F1, then go do MotoGP. It's going to be a really confusing day as well. But that's what we do. Megan will host the MotoGP, and hopefully she'll enjoy that. She'll be keeping an eye on all the racing action as well. Colin Vire for the Netherlands is leading to Sasaki. Vire's, of course, won a race back in Malaysia. We heard the Dutch national anthem earlier on that morning. Dennis Onchu having to go down as we see the fans into the last corner here at the circuit, turn number 14. Adrian Campos up towards the line now. And this is Masia now ahead of Munoz as we come across the line. So Juan Masia did indeed make that move. And I'm not really surprised. He had that covered off quite nicely into the braking zone. As via Sasaki Onchu, and it's just going to be a pack race, I think, Josh. It's struggling to overtake Valencia. It's a very hard track, and they're just pack racing. It's a bit like a superbike race in British bike racing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the main game for bikes is slipstream, especially in Moto2 and Moto3. A little bit in MotoGP as well. Let's have a look at the replay of the move.
Oh, throws it down. It's literally throwing down the gauntlet. Nice move on the inside there from Masia. Jumped ahead quite nicely and quite comfortably. And mapping 3 from Masia. So now just take it in. No need to do anything. He's off to Moto2 next year. Just take it nice and easy as they sweep back in. This battle for the lead, though, is very exciting as they'll hold it down together. This is what we like to see across in Moto3, cool, calm, collective racing. Via controlling the pace with his teammate Sasaki in second. The Husqvarnas are good. Denis Onchu and David Alonso and Ivan Otola can smell a race win. Onchu's wants it. He's looking on the inside line. He's going to trail break. Just trying to make a bit of a threat to Sasaki. But David Alonso keeping his racing line. He's having the better exits out of these corners. And he's getting on the slipstream as we come down towards turn number 1. And it's just too small a straight. You can't slipstream like a Qatar. It's a long straight, but not that long. And it's a very hard turn 1 on the braking zone. Why we have Valencia as the last round, I don't know. It's a nice, pretty circuit. It's only because of testing, really. I think that's it. As they look on the inside, nothing going on there. Of course, we didn't have it. We had Valencia, then Europe, then Portugal back in the COVID year of 2020. Didn't have anything on there back in those days. We didn't have a postseason test because of COVID. It was a condensed year. But we will be covering the postseason test Tuesday, 8:45 a.m. All of the action for MotoGP's testing. Marc Marquez's first time on a Ducati. We'll cover it all with all our timings and usual watch-along coverage. And then through the race, we'll be showing you a replay of today's Grand Prix race on the stream during the lunch break, side by side with the timing pictures. Really is good stuff, this one. Onchu holding on for third. Let's check in with TNT.
I think I'm equally as excited. I think they'll both go about it in different ways. Ayuma's more of a methodical rider. He'll figure out the puzzle. He'll work it out. It might take him a little bit longer. I think Denis Onchu, who's currently there, sat in. Well, he's just going to.
There he goes. Onchu takes second. Just as we wait. Onchu on second, and then Alonso's going to follow it through too. Sasaki drops back into fourth. And Onchu says, stay with me to Alonso, stay with me. As Onchu's going for the lead, down to turn 1. Sasaki's got the slipstream as well to get ahead. It's a run down to the first corner. Villa goes wide. Onchu holds it through and Sasaki dive bombs Alonso. Sasaki takes back third position away from David Alonso. Onchu trying to find a way through, isn't working. He's going to try and hold it together. Turn 4 might be an opportunity, but Onchu now wants a win for a third time this year, and he's going to go for it for a third time this year.
The issue was the Leopard team with Messia and Adrian Fernandez basically used really dirty tactics, and the idea was to try and disturb number 71, Ayumu Sasaki, who was battling for the championship with Jalma Messia. I mean, Messia put 2 really hard moves on Sasaki and run him to the edge of the track, allowing other riders to come through. Look, that's dirty. It probably did deserve a penalty, but what came next was the teammate of Messia, Adrian Fernandez, who just got involved. I mean, he was not involved in the title battle. He got involved by being incredibly aggressive with Ayumu Sasaki and did some very, very dirty moves on him during the race, which caused Sasaki to drop back and in turn ended up where Messia won the race, got enough points, gap between them, and was crowned world champion. It really, for me, it took the shine off that world championship.
Alonso on the inside of Sasaki.
Hasn't it, on social media, as the kids say, every post was ratioed.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
The kids.
Apparently. People a lot younger than you or I, but it was a full backlash. You'd say 95% of the response to it was that it left
and there's Sasaki on the inside line at turn 1. Sasaki making the move and gets ahead for second position, ahead of Denis Onchu. Onchu's going to try and fight back straight away into turn 3. Can't do it, would risk it. Sasaki at 1:38.474, new best race lap record around Valencia. Onchu's furious, I can sense it in him as well. We're halfway, lap 11 of 20, 10 to go. It's half distance in this Moto3 race. And you can sense the frustrations bubbling under the surface. Everything just waiting to explode. Nicely done though in certain parts. I will take it on that front as well. Holgado P10, Munoz 11th. But again, Colin Vaya's a star of the future. Gotta say, he's looking so good. Oh, Adrian Fernandez drops back a couple of positions. Down into 13th on the timing screens. Not exactly 100% sure what was the problem there, but it has changed on the board. As Fritzo and David Munoz changed over positions for 11th. Sasaki trying to hold back Colin Vaya. It's a good race, this one. I'm enjoying this. It's a nice way to end the year. And there goes Sasaki. No, can't do it. And is Alonso going to have a look on the inside line? No, he's not. There's the timings. Look at that. Via and Sasaki setting fastest sector times across the board. That's what I was trying to show you as we get a slipstream run down towards turn number 1. Is Sasaki going to go for the lead on his teammate Colin Via? They've already secured second of the championship. With Sasaki, can't be beaten, and everyone's status quo towards the first corner.
Normally in Moto3, that's not the case.
No, there was no attempt from Ayumu Sasaki to pass there. He pulled out to block, really.
Oops.
Because he knows what pace they're setting, and whilst they're doing this, what's happening is because that is stretching the field, the pit boards, the mechanics will be giving riders signals to make them aware of how big the group is. And if you see the group getting smaller, then at that point, there's no point in trying to pass the rider in front. You want it so that the group's as small as possible.
Jose Antonio Rueda has now come through on Kelso, and it's just moments like this where you have to hope. You've got to hope they start scrapping at the front. Because if they ride like this, they ride in a comfort zone and they're able to pull away. When they start scrapping, their lap times drop, and those riders like Rueda and Kelso, whose ultimate pace might be a couple of tenths slower, they could stick there if it's a battle, but when it's like this, it's almost like a time trial. It's harder to keep in touch.
Yeah, and it's actually rare we'd see a Moto3 race like this. In fact, I'm thinking, is this the first of the year where we've seen it stretched out?
They've seen it's been a smaller group.
Well, it's calm at the front,
you're right, where it feels so stretched. And David Munoz, 16 at the middle point of last year when he came into this championship. He is an exciting, if a little bit reckless rider at times, and he's just tapped the back of his seat to the world champion to say, stick with me, kid.
He's so aggressive.
And there's Munoz on the inside line, making a move on Rusi Yamanaka as well as we cross the line. The leaders at the front, completely side by side again. Via Sasaki, and then Otola now getting passed on the outside by Alonso, retaking the position that we had a changeover a lap ago. Via Sasaki, onto Alonso Ortola. They are the 5 riders in contention to win this Moto3 Grand Prix. And it is going to close up with 8 laps to go here in Valencia. It's building up. The tension is rising to a crescendo here at Valencia.
This was a nightmare. Obviously, the double world champion Troy Bayliss used to always have titanium toe sliders. And when I raced with him, you were showered in sparks out on every corner. He loved it.
Of course, it looks cool. It's great in photos. Through turn 7, known as Afición, the fans' corner, because the fans are just looming large. There's no runoff there, as in at the side of the track. And just look at those backs of fans. They love their motorcycle racing in this part of the world. Well, in Spain in general, but here in Valencia, there's something in the blood. Here and in Jerez, isn't it? Where it just feels like it's a rite of passage. You get yourself to the Grand Prix. And getting in this morning was not an easy job.
No, not at all. Well, in the paddock, I've never seen anything like it. It's normally quite VIP if you're in the...
Oh, sorry. Tola's thinking about a move on the inside line, but coming through out of nowhere was David Alonso, and he's rubbing, and off the track goes Alonso and Onchu. That's going to get the position towards Tola. They're 3 abreast as they come down towards turn number 1, and they've separated out from the lead group of Sasaki and Via. Via leading the way. Tola's on the inside line. Onchu's going to try and go through, and Alonso moves up into 3rd position. Tremendous move. Tola 4th. Onchu got forced out by Alonso, and now he's down in 5th position. That's how quickly it can change, and that's how quickly that the fighting can begin here in Valencia. That was a bit scrappy there, Josh. What did you make of it to see a replay?
Yeah, that was quite scrappy indeed. Look how close they were. They were even touching through turn 14, which pushed, I believe it was Alonso, out wide.
And Onchu down in 5th position. They've closed back that gap again, but Sasaki can now focus on either attacking or staying with his teammate of Colin Via, who leads this race at the moment. There's not team orders, but if it is your teammate in front, you just wait to see what could happen as things stand, as they'll try now to close back up once more, but it's changing again in Moto3.
This year he's been penalised with 3-second penalties for rough riding, and it's sent him down the order. In fact, it's probably cost him the shot at the championship this year.
Yeah, Dennis Onchu is probably one of the most aggressive riders. I think the only other
but
one
quick.
would be... Who would you think?
Munoz.
Yeah, David Munoz.
Alonso's starting to get up there, isn't he, in terms of some of the moves he pulled.
Yeah, they're your top three you don't really want to be battling with on the last lap, because they will do whatever it takes, and sometimes they go over the limit
Alonso
line.
on the inside of Sasaki. Alonso takes second position at the last corner with the dive bomb. Is Sasaki going to try and fight back down towards the first corner? So they'll have to slipstream as Ortola comes into it too. Sasaki in the run in towards the braking zone. Will he take it? Thinks about a move. He's literally wheel to wheel. It's going to be last of the late breakers, and Alonso breaks later. Sasaki decides to sacrifice it, just try and get a nicer turn in entry. So Alonso 1:38.438, a new best race lap record here at the circuit. Oh, this is great. And sector times are looking good here as well. Josh T, they're getting faster and faster and faster the quicker the race comes to a close.
Yep, absolutely. Lap record after lap record after lap record. With 6 laps to go, it could be broken once more.
So they are closing in again. They are holding it back. So once more, via Alonso, Sasaki, Ortola, Onchu, the top 5. Then it's an 8/10 gap to Ruda and Kelso. Then Kelso's got a 4-second gap between him and Holgado. And as you look on the last lap, Holgado was quicker at lap 13 and 14 compared to Kelso, who was only fast at lap 12 of that little last 3-lap run. So it's still going on. It's a top 5 fight at the moment. And it's going to be anybody's guess. David Alonso in second position now. Stands a chance to win a second Grand Prix. Same goes for Colin Vire, who's won this year. Sasaki, Ortola and Ruda. Of course, Ortola won that amazing race at Kota earlier on this year. Onchu's won a couple of last lap bangers as well. And so we're just watching 5 riders have all won races this year in a battle. Garcia, the champion, down in 11th position. Proves how good of a champion he really is. As well as they come through, kind of a matchup with the top boys here as well. He's just been consistent throughout the year, and that's really been about it. As they come into the braking zone again, Sasaki going to go on the inside line. Alonso has to get forced off, and Sasaki takes second position. That was a dive bomb and a half, but that was coordinated between him and Vire. Sasaki and Vire working together as teammates. Beautifully done. And now Ortola joining the mix. Onchu's dropped to second back. Onchu's made a mistake somewhere, so it's a 4-way scrap with 5 to go here in Valencia.
His legs, he said, I'm going to struggle. He's still trying. He needs him to start battling to have any chance here.
Yeah, which I think is going to happen, because Alonso's looking like he's got the pace to be at the front. We know how good he's into that last corner.
And the big elbows of Ivan Ortola, let's not count him out. Twice race winner this year. A real surprise, actually, when he came through to win those races early on.
Yeah, that win in America was something special from... Where was he? He was down in something like 25th on the first lap after that humongous slide.
Yeah, the high side landed back on the...
Oh, and Vire goes wide! Vire's gone wide! He's outbraked himself! And Sasaki leads! Alonso Ortola, the top 3 now. And that was just late on the brakes coming into turn 10. And it's changed the race complexion. Brilliant. And now Onchu's back in the mix as well, but can Sasaki hold on? Here comes Ortola, running in on the inside of Alonso and takes second position. So Ortola now on the run. He's no stranger to these dive bombs with Sasaki. As I said, it happened back at Kota, round 3 of the season, as they come up again across the line. 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go here at Valencia. And Alonso on the inside line in the first corner, can't get a slipstream. Sasaki, Ortola, Alonso now the top 3. Vire's dropping back, same as Onchu. Each lap we're losing 1 by 1. Alonso looking on the inside line. Nope, nothing there, I'm afraid. Can't find a way through. Needs to find something on the deck. He's having a go on the inside. Nope, nothing. They've got to be careful now, Josh, because they're in the closing stages, and if they make one mistake, it could be curtains.
Yep, could all be over if you make a mistake right now, so just got to keep it clean, but make up as many positions as you can while keeping it clean.
So, and around the outside, Sasaki's having to go defensive. Ortola's thinking about a move, but hasn't worked out. Here comes Colin Vire. He's back in the mix as well. Onchu's there too. Rod Shepherd says, a great website, Josh, absolutely brilliant. Glad you like it. We'll be here for everything. Formula 1 and MotoGP coming up as well. After this, Moto2 as well, actually thinking about it. I keep forgetting where we are. Sasaki leading by 1/10.5. That's about that much. much. The width of my commentary screen, it's really not a lot. Round the outside, here comes Colin Vire. Back into the mix in the last corner. Alonso looking on the inside. Then as well of Ortola. They all shut the door. They can't get through. But again, Ortola runs on the curbs a little bit too much. He's going to lose slipstream down towards turn number 1. Alonso's there. 3 to go as Alonso gets a twitch on the rear. Pulls to the inside line. Down to turn 1 and gets ahead of Ortola. Can Colin Vire do anything? No. He runs it in too late. Sasaki leads this one as things stand by 10.5. Here comes Vire. Here comes Ortola. Back on the inside at turn 2 and makes the move for second place into turn 3, followed by turn 4. That's always the tricky one. A right-hander for the first time after 5 lefts and a 17-degree track. It's not always the way you want to do it. And it's just holding off between them. Sasaki, Ortola, Alonso, Vire, and then 2.5 tenths back is Onchu, but Onchu is back in this fight now. He left it a little bit, but he slowly crept back in, so it's all working out as it should do. 3 laps to go. Sasaki, Ortola, Alonso, Vire, Onchu, Ruda, Kelso, Hologado, Munoz and Yamanaka. That's the top 10 as they'll continue to attack into the midsection. Is Sasaki going to make a similar mistake to Colin Vire and run it in too deep? No. Vire tries to go around the outside of Alonso. No, nothing. It's getting good though, this one.
On that last lap, they were in the 38s. 38 for much of this race. So it's just dropped back ever so slightly in terms of pace. But you're going to need to get back into the 38s to win this one.
Going to come down to the last corner, I'll tell you that. Yeah. And the strongest is this man, number 80, is incredible into
Alonso
there.
gets it.
Honestly, David Alonso is braking so deep with a lot of lean angle, which usually puts a lot of pressure and force on the front tyre, but he's able to get it stopped.
And what Sasaki now needs to do is make sure there isn't a chance. He's got to give himself this margin that he's got right here, right now. He needs Ortola and Alonso
brilliant from Ortola.
Because if you get
on the inside
bike lengths, then even Alonso, however strong he can be, he'll have a go.
Yep, and as we see, they're all still scrapping with 2 laps to go. Sasaki and now Ortola back to second, a slipstream right on the inside line at the first corner, got it back ahead of Alonso. And then here we go, 5 in the fight with 2 to go, they've done it. So Vire and Onchu have pulled themselves back from the edge of destruction. Can Sasaki hold it through? Into turn 6 as well, just holds it again. Oh, a little twitch from Alonso when he tried to sit the bike up as well, so the tyre's starting to wear out. A few more mistakes possibly coming into it. Onchu taking a very wide line as we come into the braking zone for turn 8 and 9. And again, it's going to be a battle for second. Sasaki with this 10.5 gap, Josh, might just keep it out, but this is going to go down, as Neil Hodgson said, to the last corner on the last lap. As there goes Alonso on the inside of Ortola, and that upsets Ortola, and Vire goes through for third. Alonso playing dirty. Ortola down to 4th, and it's just going to be that. Who can capitalise on what mistakes?
Yep, absolutely critical. You have to capitalise on any mistakes made, and just like that, everything can change.
Onchu's coming into it as well. We are on to the last lap of the Moto3 2023 season. The championship may already be decided with Juan Garcia. He was now in 15th. But we have a 5-way scrap to wrap out this incredible Moto3 season as Alonso to the inside line at turn 1, can't make it. Ortola retains Colin Vire. Onchu on the outside line at turn 1. He's going to try and pull off into turn 2 on Vire. Vire forces him out. He can't do anything there. Onchu is now going to have to come back and regroup into turn 4. Sasaki defending from Alonso. Alonso thinks about a move for a dive bomb. Doesn't want to do it. Ortola coming in, and Onchu's going for it. And Alonso at the same time, not going to work into 5. Come back into 6, regroup. Vire and Onchu jumping back from the top 3. So it's Sasaki, Alonso, Ortola as they exit. Now they're a bit closer after braking zones. Now they're going to be on the attack to try and capitalise into the final couple of corners. And Sasaki goes wide into turn 9. Alonso thinks about a move on the inside. Ortola's there too. Real drama. They're going to hold it into turn 11 and 12 now. Into the final sector coming in. Sector 4. Onchu trying to go around the outside of Colin Vire. No opportunities to be a hero this time, I'm afraid. They'll have to do it. All together. Left-handers. This is the final right. Into the left. It's going to be completely in the last corner. Alonso shaping up for a third win. He pulls to the inside line of the braking zone. Suzuki's got it covered. Ortola's there too. Out of turn 16. It's a drag race to the line. Who's going to get there first? Amu Suzuki wins in Valencia. Alonso is second. Ortola third. Villa fourth. Onchu fifth. Ruda sixth. And after the miseries of Qatar, where a team strategy from Leopold forced him out of a championship for their own benefits, it is Suzuki who gets the last laugh and wins in Valencia. What a race, Josh.
Absolutely, what a race and what a finish to the Moto3 Championship. We've had an amazing finish to F2, we've had an amazing finish to Moto3. Will we have an amazing finish to Moto2? And especially, I think we will have an incredible finish to MotoGP later on, which you can also catch on JD Motorsports.
That, I believe, is not an accident. That's just going off to start congratulations as well, I believe, going out there. Well, what a season it has been. Thank you very much, Rod, for saying great commentary. That's very much appreciated. What a season it has been for Moto3. We do have to wrap up to get ready for Formula 1, but we will confirm to you how everything finishes leaving 2023. Amon Suzuki wins the last race. He gets the last laugh. David Alonso second. Ivan Ortola is third. Colin Vire is fourth. Dennis Onchi fifth. Jose Antonio Rueda sixth. Joel Kelso is seventh. Daniel Hologado 8th, David Munoz 9th, and Rusu Yamanaka finishes in 10th. Taya Farizzo from Filippo Ferroli, Juan Masia, Adrian Fernandez, Stefano Neppe getting the last point, Roman Fenati 16th, as well as Riccardo Rossi 17th, Matteo Bertoletti 18th, Javier Ortegas is 19th, Kaito Toba 20th, David Salvador's 21st, Marcos Ruda 22nd, Mario Aggi 23rd. Out of the race was Lorenzo Felon, Rossetti Perez, Diego Mola, and Scott Ogden never started the race. In terms of the World Championship then, Juan Masia is champion by 6 points to Amon Suzuki. Nobody may like it after what happened in Qatar, but Masia is the champion, but Suzuki gets the last laugh. David Alonso confirms in third, with Dennis Onchu fourth, Hologado fifth, Ortola sixth, Van Vire seventh, Manuela eighth, Ruda ninth, and David Alonso rounds out in the top 10. Well, it's been another amazing season. I'd like to thank Josh T for your company today. We'll see you in a second for Formula 1. I'd like to thank everybody who's been part of the Moto3 commentary this year. It has been absolutely spectacular. We've covered Moto3 for a couple of years in terms of commentating on the races. This was our first year broadcasting them live or in highlights to you, and we have enjoyed every single journey. Every single race has given us something new, and it has given us really close, exciting racing. We hope you'll join us in 2024 when the Moto3 journey continues at round 1 at the Losail International Circuit. There's a couple more to come though here. We've got Moto2 up next, and we've got MotoGP to decide a world champion. We also have Formula 1 from Abu Dhabi getting underway shortly. We'll be back in a few minutes with both Formula 1's pre-show and Moto2's Grand Prix. Thanks for your company. We'll see you next year for Moto3. Bye-bye.